and say I'm the GOAT. I still look in the mirror like go harder.
Yeah, it's the mental training program for you guys, man. I've been working on this day and night. I've been trying to record this. Make sure you guys hit the like, comment, subscribe, and welcome to the training program, man. This is week 1. I am showing week 1 to everybody on YouTube. You can watch it. You could work along with it, because I really feel like this information is so monumental and so foundation, like it's such a foundational piece that it can help you. And the truth of the matter is, you gotta have your mental right in football, man. Like, a lot of people are just out there training. They're going to trainers. They're out there working out with their coaches and stuff. But it's like, bro, at the end of the day, your mental strikes everything. If you do all that and you still don't believe you could do it, it's over with, bro. It does not matter. It doesn't matter at all. So let's get into it. And let's talk about self-esteem, man. Self-esteem is where everything starts. And you see dude pointing at himself, and that's where everything starts. And self-esteem is really just a self-trust, a feeling of self-worth, and a sense of belonging. So, like, if you don't trust yourself, you have no self-esteem. A lot of times, if you see people walking down, they've depleted the trust in themselves. They don't really understand their worth. And it's either one of those three. And a lot of times, especially on the football field, if you're a first-year player, you're going to struggle with that because you don't know how good you are compared to everybody else. And even if you're a beginner where you've played football before, but new team or something, you got to be able to trust in your abilities. You got to be able to know that you're good enough, and you got to feel a sense of belonging. Sometimes if you don't feel that sense of belonging, it's like, why am I out here? Like, it's going to be hard to do your job on the field if you don't feel like the other players is with you. So you got to make sure that you are with the right team and the right crowd. So let's get into it, man. We're going to get a little scientific into it today, a little psychological. And Maslow's hierarchy of needs is everything. So Maslow, if you're not familiar with Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, he proposed that motivation is the result of a person's attempt at fulfilling 5 basic needs: physiological, safety, social esteem, and self-actualization. So, like, according to Maslow, these needs create internal pressures that can influence a person's behavior. What we're going to focus on, especially with football, is safety needs, belongingness and self and love needs, and esteem needs. Like we know, like, if you ain't got no water on the field and you're thirsty, you're gonna be thinking like, dude, I don't care about football. I need water. You know, if you're not rested right and it's like you have an injury that's messing with you, you're gonna be like, how can I protect myself? That's why physiological needs that's like basic stuff. Now, safety needs, that's where we're gonna go into. Like, a lot of times, first-year players don't know, they're not comfortable, they don't feel safe, they're not secure. And story time, me personally, my first year of football, I was terrified. I didn't understand equipment. I got dealt some shoddy gear, some terrible equipment, some cruddy gear, and I wasn't safe. I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel secure. I didn't feel like my coaches was trying to help me. I didn't feel like my teammates felt like everybody was out to get me. And that's a terrible mindset to have in football. Granted, you don't want to go into it thinking like, oh, everybody's my friend. Like, yeah, you still got to do certain things on that field. But at the same time, you have to make sure that your equipment is safe. Your equipment is safe. You know how to guard yourself to safety and to make sure that you're secure. And, you know, everything else is fine, that you're playing football in a safe environment. Belongingness and love needs. This is very important because also you got to have those relationships with your friends and players on the team. If you don't have those relationships where you're like, oh, well, we're going to get this done, you're kind of wasting your time out there. Team, you don't have to be buddy with every part of your team, but you got to trust that your teammate's going to get that job done. And that's a little bit outside the scope of the video. And esteem needs. this is just prestige and feeling of accomplishments. Like this is like, okay, like, wow, I really stuck through with this and I did it. That's big, especially with football, especially if it's your first year. I don't care if it's your 8th year and you're just like, yo, it's just not clicking, but I love the game. Achieving your full potential and esteem needs, it's everything, because it keeps you going. That's not going to be the main reason you're going, but it's going to keep you going. If you've played football and the first 5 years you played, you didn't see yourself getting better, you really see like there's no hope, it's going to be hard to go out there the next day and think you could become better. So you want to make sure that you have that sense of accomplishment, that pride, that taking pride in your ability and your skill. Now let's understand self-esteem a little further. So this is the building block to greatness in anything. If you don't trust or believe in yourself to do anything, you won't do it. You won't, bro. You really will not do it. Like, a lot of people don't understand that. If you don't trust or believe in yourself to do anything, you won't do it, bro. Like, if a lot of people say they want $1 million a year, make $1 million a year, there's only a couple people that there's a lot of people that do make $1 million a year, but the people that want to do it, do it. The people that don't, they don't. Either you're gonna be a warrior or a warrior, man. You're gonna get better or bitter. Accept where you are now, so you're able to build. So we're able to build. You want to understand, like, okay, like, I understand where I'm at right now. I'm not the greatest player right now. I am a great player. I'm going to be a great player, but I understand right now I'm worried about hitting. I'm worried about catching the ball in the games. I get a little nervous when I play. You want to make sure you're working on these building blocks and you're working on your skill, but you understand where you're at now is the starting point. Right now is the starting point. So you're not going to just turn into Derrick Henry tomorrow if you're a running back. You're not going to just turn into Devontae Adams if you're a wide receiver tomorrow. They put in years of work. They put in years of work, man. It's not impossible. It's not like you look at somebody and like, they do something that I can't do. Like, they put in the work. You got to put in the work, but you also have to trust and believe that you can do it. If you don't trust and believe you can do it, you are literally wasting your time. And that is with sports. That is with everything. That is with life. Self-esteem issues aren't just one thing. It's self-doubt, inability to take charge, overthinking, and feeling you don't matter, quitting. So let's start with self-doubt. It's easy to doubt yourself first. Like, we understand that. It's easy to doubt yourself. Like, especially if you've never done it before. Like, it's hard to do something you've never done before or you've never seen before. So you're going to doubt. But you got to believe that you can do it at some point. You don't have to do it tomorrow. You don't have to run for 250 yards your first year. But at the same time, you want to get better daily. If you get better daily, you could achieve anything you want to. That's not no good stuff that I just like to pump into people, but that's real. You could do anything if you get better daily. Incremental steps at getting better. Let's look at the next one. Inability to take charge. This is everything. If you're not able to be like, yo, this is my life, this is my career, this is my football career, I'm taking everything into it and I'm going to be the best that I can be. If you're not going to take charge and take responsibility for your career, you're wasting your time. Point blank, period. I don't care what you think. I don't care if you feel like, oh well, there's ways around it. Like, nah, if you don't take charge of your career, nobody's going to be more responsible for your career than you. Cold blood, period. I can't stand when I walk around and I hear people I played high school with, or I see people and they just be like, oh man, coaches didn't do this, they didn't do that. Some scenarios, a little bit possible. Okay, you was a quarterback and they put you on the line. I get it. But you got to take charge of your career. It's that simple. The moment you take it serious, it's yours, bro. It's yours. Overthinking. You don't want to double think and overthink everything, especially on that field. When you see something, you got to react. I learned that a lot by watching Troy Polamalu when I was younger. he wasn't necessarily my favorite safety, but I was a safety back in the day, and I watched a lot of him. And what I seen when I watched him play was he didn't overthink at all. It was all instinct. He was just see ball, get ball. And he did so much studying off the back end that if he seen something, he believed that's what it was. There were so many times he would blow coverages, and it was like everybody would be like, what in the world? He blew that coverage. But he wasn't playing to play perfect. He was playing to make a play. He was playing the game of football. That's how the game's supposed to be played. Don't overthink, man. If you see something, believe in it and act. And feeling you don't matter, man. Like, you do matter. That is the bottom line in the game. Like, you do matter. I don't care if it's your first year, if you're BS, if you're hot dogging at practice, if you're like picking grass and you're like, oh well, these coaches don't care, I don't really matter. Like, you do matter. If the coaches don't care, you should care. It's your career. You're playing. If you playing football and you're like, oh, I'm just playing for the girls, like, yeah, at some point it's gonna be like, well, I shouldn't be playing anymore. But if you're playing and it's like, yo, I really like this game, I want to take my game to the next level. Don't even have to be, I want to play college football. It could just be like, I want to see if I could do this football thing. Take it serious, bro. Yeah, it's your career, bro. If the coaches is like, oh, we're running a scout team and I don't really want these guys in the game, man, start volunteering for everything. Just being like, man, I'll get work at anywhere. Y'all need a running back for an inside run, I'll play running back. Y'all need a wide receiver to go against the D-backs on 7-on-7, I'll play wide receiver. Y'all need a lineman, y'all need a D lineman to go on one-on-ones for blocking, I'll go. Like, always provide your services. Being shy in football, man, that is and it sucks because a lot of good kids are shy. So like, you don't want to be shy on that field, man. Shy, that's not good. That's not what we need. And quitting, man, that's obvious, man. Like, you shouldn't. If you ain't gonna do it, you shouldn't play, bro. That's simple. I ain't here to. If you're like, I just don't know. Like, bro, if you don't know at this point, if you've watched all these videos I've made last year, all these videos I've made whenever you're watching football videos 90 going north and you're like, I just don't know about the game, I'm not sure, bro, either commit or quit. I don't like saying that so much, but the truth of the matter, that's life, man. Like, either you're going to do it or you're not. And I advise everybody to do it. If you've never played football, play the game. So let's get into it. Self-esteem issues that you could come across. Struggling enforcing boundaries. This is huge. A lot of people can't enforce those boundaries. They're just like, oh, well, I'm out there to help the team and I'll do anything to help the team. I like when coaches say that. That's cool. But to the extent you have to enforce those boundaries. If you're like, I am a running back, I am playing running back, this is what I'm playing. If the coach is like, and you've shown you're a good running back, the coach is like, oh, well, let's put you on the line, and you know good and well, like, this isn't my position, this isn't where I should play. Enforce that boundary. Like, coach, with all due respect, I will do this for the team, but I am a running back. It's not disrespectful. That's enforcing that boundary. Poor confidence. Poor confidence is a self-esteem issue as well, because a lot of people aren't confident. They don't trust themselves. The first part of confidence is confide. You got to be able to trust yourself. Lack of control. A lot of people don't have the control of their emotions or control of whatever they're doing. They're like, oh, I want to be the best one day, and then they wake up tomorrow and they're like, I could care less about football. Be consistent. You got to wake up with the same energy. You got to come on the field with the same energy daily. Personal example, I literally did that with my channel. I wanted to be the best football, teaching the best football on YouTube. I wanted to be like, everybody comes to me. But then there was a point I had life things happen, and then I was like, it started to wane a little bit. I had to work on that myself. I can't tell you to do something now. I'm still working on it. So I had to set that boundary, and I had to control myself. Every day, come with that same energy. It's a dogfight daily. Come with that same energy daily. compare yourself up to others negatively, man. Like, social media does this a lot, but at the same time, you want it. Comparison is the thievery of joy, man. Your journey is your journey. Don't compare your journey to nobody else. It does not matter who it is. Don't do it to anybody else. You can look at other people as a reference. Like, when I was younger, my favorite player was Terrell Owens. I looked at him as a reference because when he was in high school, he wasn't the greatest player, and he went to a D1 AA school. And I was like, all right, well, I like my freshman sophomore year, I wasn't really getting too much PT, so I was like, oh well, you know, I'll take on his story and I'll think about it. But the truth of the matter was, I used him as a reference. I didn't compare myself and be like, oh man, the coaches was giving him playing time. Like, stop thinking about that stuff. Worry about yourself. Worry about your journey. Take it day by day. Worry and self-doubt, bro. You gotta have faith in your abilities, and you have faith on the field. You're worrying about the wrong things. You don't want to worry about anything. Negative self-talk. Your self-talk is everything. If you thinking, oh man, he's gonna truck me, he's kind of big, you done lost, bro. You done lost. Once you start, negative self-talk is that's everything. Fear of failure, man. Don't be scared to fail, man. This is literally a game, bro. It's a game. It's a game you could take very seriously, but it's a game, bro. At the end of the day, it's a game. Like, you're going to have some ups and you're going to have some downs. Wins and losses. Shout out to me. And last one, negative perspective. Always thinking the worst case scenario. This is simple with like worrying. This is just like worrying. Like, bro, why are you always thinking the worst case scenario? Oh, he's big. He's 250 pounds and he's going to Penn State and he has thighs bigger than Lake Michigan. Like, bro, okay. And you still got to get him down. Like, you're on the field, bro. You still got to get him down at some point. So which one of these, I want you guys to comment in the video below, because I'm going to have this on YouTube, as you know. Which of these do you identify with? So like, look at these 8 and comment the couple that you identify with. I'm gonna respond and I'm gonna help you guys as much as I can. But comment below which ones you identify with, and really think about this, bro. If you gotta pause the video, pause the video. Now the last slide. We're going to talk about what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, man. This is an interactive video, man. I know a lot of y'all are like, oh man, I wasn't really expecting this, bro. Pull out a pen, pull out anything, bro. This is it. So what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? Now, your strength can be something that you're better than. I really explained this for y'all. A strength can be something that you're better than 2 out of 3 people than your opponents. So like, when I was younger, one of my strengths was speed. I was faster than out of 3 people on the field, I was faster than 2 of them, at least. So I could always count on my speed for the most part. That was one of my strengths. I could always say one of my strengths was, okay, I'm hard to tackle. If there's 3 people to tackle me, 2 of them's not going to get a good grasp on me. I'm going to get 2 people off me. So I'm hard to tackle. I could put break and tackle up there. You can even go through Madden ratings, bro. If you legit can't think of anything, go through Madden ratings. You could go through Madden. Cut on Madden right now. Cut on your PS5. Cut on your Xbox Series X, or cut on your Xbox One or PS4, whatever you got, even if you don't got Madden. Literally go through the ratings. You could Google Madden ratings. Go through the ratings and then be like, is that a strength or a weakness for you? Cold-blooded. And a weakness is something that you're worse than 2 out of 3 of your opponents. Me personally, when I was younger, one of the things that I wasn't necessarily strong at was, I say, blocking. I wasn't the best blocker. So for the most part, if out of 2 out of 3 people, if I had to, like, if it was out of 3 plays, I probably missed 2 of the blocks. So blocking wasn't really a thing for me, but blocking is I learned a lot older, and it's really about 1-2. But that was a weakness for me, and that's things you want to do. You want to make sure you're having your strengths and your weaknesses, and make sure you're writing this on a paper. If you don't even have a paper around, you could put this in the comments. You could put every single one of these in the comments. I don't even care, bro. You could put strengths, put down 3 strengths, and weaknesses, put down 3 weaknesses. But honestly, for yourself, I put this down on a paper so I could look at it. Now, what can you do to work on your weaknesses right now? Right now. I know you're watching a YouTube video. I know this is like, oh man, I'm just chilling on the couch. I'm just watching Scotty videos. You know, Scotty ain't posting in so long. Bro, what can you do to work on your weaknesses right now? What is something that you can work on right now? If you put down speed, if you was like, yo, I'm not the fastest dude right now, cold-blooded, I gotta work on my speed, then you gotta work on your speed, bro. You gotta find a way to work on your speed. It's that simple. And if you need help, you could comment below, and also I can make a program for y'all. I can make a speed program. Actually, comment below if you would like to see a speed program. But what can you do to work on your weaknesses right now? Like if you put down, oh well, I'm not the best tackler, what can you do to work on your tackling? You got to be a critical thinker, man. Critical thinking is everything. Now, if you've watched this whole thing, I want you to do this for me. If you really feel like this is a great first part of everything, I want you to comment below that you would want to see the whole program, because this is just week 1, bro. I got 6 weeks. I got 5 more weeks, and then we go more in depth. But this is an interactive program. This is something that you really care about. This is something that you should really do. If this is a weakness, bro, like if this is something you really struggle with, the mentality of the game, you're just sick of being like playing behind people you know you're better than. You're sick of playing on the bench. You're sick of just getting humiliated, bro. Like this is the next step, bro. I promise, bro. This is going to help you tremendously. So comment below if you want to see the whole program. I will post the whole program, not on YouTube, but I will have a link where you could watch the program and you can interact with the program on another website. Peace.
Check this video out on the screen if you want to be mean on that green, or real on that field, or extort on that court. The No Baller Left Behind Act supports this video. You feel me?